Like, this is just mind-blowing. So, good morning. I just literally woke up into a Master Duel ban list, and I figured I might do a little bit of a reaction on it. I've seen some of the things on the ban list, and I think it's definitely worth discussing from a TCG perspective because this specific ban list seems different for Master Duel. Before we start, I just want to make an announcement that this week, and starting from now on for the foreseeable future, I will be moving to streaming on Twitch. So if you haven't followed me there and you're already active there, hit the link in my description for my Twitch. Just click follow so you know when I go live. I would highly appreciate it. Let's jump into this new Master Duel Forbidden and Limited list update. This was updated today, December 28th. Let's see what we have here. Okay, so right off the bat, we have Redox going to 3, Tidal going to 3, and Tempest going to 3. So we already, I believe, have Blaster at 3, I suppose. They're just saying, fuck it, let's do this. I mean, people in the TCG have been clamoring for this, saying that they're not going to do anything. Tidal is, honestly, a little bit scary. I think it's probably the scariest of them all in terms of today's metagame. I think its potential is probably the highest. But overall, I think like Redox Tempest has already been like at 1 for a very long time, I believe, in the TCG. And we'll have to see if it becomes toxic now. So all the Dragon Rulers, yep, Konami has unanimously decided. And I think this is very apparent in this ban list that OCG, TCG, and Master Duel ban lists are coming closer together. There is communication there between departments, which is great. Terratop going directly to 3 from 1. This, I mean, in Master Duel, I'm not so sure what the impact could be, but I would be much more scared to do those things in Master Duel just because it's kind of like a Wild West of you might have some cards. I don't think it's gonna matter that much. But you have to remember that Trident and Barrage and all the Zodiac stuff just came off the ban list. So Terratop, I mean, yeah, it is scary. It is a buff to Zodiac, I believe. Predaplant or Scorpio, why was this card ever at? It is currently limited in the OCG for some reason. Send 1 monster from your hand, special summon Predaplant. I don't think this card is even remotely playable. We've seen some of this in the TCG, but I don't know. And Sword Soul Strategist Long Yuan, again, I think like this is a weird hit overall for the deck. I believe, I don't know how much Emergence is now, if it's limited or not, but I remember in the OCG, Sword Soul Emergence was limited alongside Branded Opening. But Sword Soul getting their cards back, Branded still having Fusion and Aluber and Opening on the Forbidden Limited list, which is just weird. New semi-limit, Pearly Pretty Memory. Why not Sleepy? Why specifically Pretty? They're just doing this to overall like reduce the amount of cards. They're not gonna probably hit Pearly Sleepy Memory because we are supposed to get E-Pearly Noir, Baby Noir. So I suppose this is why. But there is another hit to Pearly in this list, and I suppose just like to reduce the consistency overall. Like Pearly is already a 2. There is another hit here. This one is a 2. They're kind of like nerfing it just a bit before releasing the final support for the deck, which kind of makes sense. But they're gonna let it run its pace a little bit. Now the limited section is incredible. So Fenrir was released as semi-limited. It is now at 1. This is one of the harshest limitations this card can have because this card is a natural +1 with itself. So at 2, it's actually perfectly balanced, right? You don't have to waste a lot of deck space. You see it less in your opening hand, but you can still search a Fenrir off of Fenrir, making the first Fenrir probably be able to stick. So when you have one Fenrir, especially if you activate the effect, you can freely negate it and destroy it with something like a Baron, because you want to get rid of it off the field. And you don't need to be afraid that they're just going to add another Fenrir and special summon it now. In the OCG, it's banned because they wanted to kill Kashtira. This is a fine hit. I mean, I like Fenrir 3, but in Master Duel, I think this is a very good hit. So look at how it spreads. TCG, this card is a 3 still after the ban list. It's banned at the OCG, now at 1 in Master Duel. This is beautiful. Love to see it. There is a very consistent strategy across the board of hitting stun. Like, stun players, this is what you get for playing stun. So there's a lot of hits like this on this list, and it's wonderful to see. Inspector Border, such a awfully designed card that, I mean, it's cool in theory. It is a 3 in every other format because nobody plays it. It's just like bad. So, and again, like we saw in the OCG and TCG lists, like you see, this card is at 1 in the TCG now, 2 in the OCG recent list, and now it's going to be in 1 in Master Duel. Beautiful, Konami. Love this out of you. Runic Destruction, I believe that this is just a hit to reduce the amount of runic names in general, just like nerfing runic. Like, the field spell is already at 1, and there are other limitations, like I think freezing is a 2, something like that. But overall, they're just like, yeah, runic spells to 1. It's not that this card is specifically good or better than any other runic. It's just like these are all stun nerfs, and they're not the last because Desires is at 1. Okay, this is very weird, I think. Like, again, look at how it breaks down. It was unlimited in the TCG recently because no decks play it at the moment. OCG is still a 2. I think it's a card that is okay at 2. And now it's limited here. Kaiser Coliseum. Again, a very annoying stun card. It's still at 3 in the OCG. It's banned at the TCG for a long time now. And again, they're hitting stun decks, and this is why. Kashtira Birth. Honestly, so Arise Art is still going to be legal. I think Birth is a solid hit. It's probably the best card of the deck after Arise Heart, which is kind of funny if you're thinking about it, but I think this card should be banned anyway. Like, it might be banned next ban list if they don't want to ban Arise Heart, because this is the most powerful card in the deck. And Duality means that, again, this is a stun nerf because you don't need to special summon in your stun deck, and this is already like the 4th stun hit that we've seen, and this means all playable pots are limited. Extravagance, Prosperity, Desires, and Duality all at 1 in Master Duel, which is crazy. Delicious Memory is also limited in I think did it just get limited? No, I think it was already semi-limited in the OCG, but it is the first limitation that we got in the TCG. And this is funny, again, this is what stun players used. You can see that it's a 3 in the OCG and TCG because this is just a gimmick card. I expect this, like, I don't like this hit at all. This is very defeatist, I suppose. It's very weird to ban a card that was just like, you know, it's like if they played Woboku. Like, this card was annoying, definitely. But I think this is like, they hit stun so freaking much into the ground, which is just based. I don't mind that. Now, this was obvious. They were just so savage with this. They went so hard today. Like, this is just mind-blowing. Yeah, Chaos Ruler becomes one of the only cards that is currently forbidden in every Yu-Gi-Oh format. Now, there are a lot of cards here that sort of like foreshadow the release of Super Heavy Samurai, the new support in Cyberstorm Access. Now, if you are a Master Duel player and you don't know what these cards are, mainly Super Heavy Samurai Prodigy Wakashi, which I'll put on the screen right now, is the main card that enables, it's basically a 1-card Synchro 8 at the very least. Also, in different combos with Super Heavy Samurai Motorbike, which is another new card, also makes a 1-card Synchro 10. So the engine is extremely powerful. It was hit fairly quickly in the TCG with the banning of the Link 1, the Scarecrow, and in the OCG as well on the FTK side, which they preemptively hit, which means that this is coming to Master Duel now. Now let's talk about what we have here. Chaos Ruler, arguably the best ever Synchro 8. I don't think there's any discussion there. Abused by every single deck. This card is extremely good. I will miss him dearly. This card is incredibly fun to play, but it is very overpowered. Now this is... whoa! Like, there is some sort of like Dragon Link hate for some reason from Konami. This card was previously at 3 in Master Duel. Nobody played it at 3. I think it was played at 2 most of the time. I don't know like if these 2 hits completely killed Dragon Link, but you have to remember that Bestials are already limited, fairly limited, like Lubellion has a 3, which is good. But this is just a smack in the face, dude. Very, very harsh. I don't know why they felt they had to do that. I mean, Dragon Link is always going to be like a deck, but banning this means that your engine and your Chaos Space engine in general just gets severely hit. I think this card would have been fine at 1. Like, move this in black to 1, like in the TCG, and try to play it out from there. Because Dragon Link has more limitations in Master Duel than it does in the TCG. It is currently a 3 in the OCG, and nobody plays Dragon Link because the Bestials are so limited. Another very good stun hit, Card of Demise. It is at 1 in the TCG, right? I think it's a card that is fine at 1. But again, consistently hitting stun players to the ground. This isn't because of any like new release, probably. This is just, you know, Card of Demise. It's a really good card. They just went all out. They didn't have to do this. Now, this is the last card that I want to talk about. This is basically foreshadowing that the next release will probably include Super Heavies, and this card was immediately banned. Now, it is banned in the OCG. This was really never a thing in the TCG for some reason. I think we did have all the combo pieces. Maybe this was something to do with like Electromite. Maybe this has to do with it, but essentially the combo with Super Heavy Samurai Soulbreaker Armor is that you banish all Super Heavy Samurai Soulbreaker Armors from your graveyard. Then you target one Super Heavy, you inflict damage if that monster has its defense lower than its original defense. You inflict the damage between the original and the current, okay? So, very specific effect. What you would do is use something like King Zero Maxwell to reduce the defense of Super Heavy Samurai Brave Masarawa, which is another new synchro, 4,000 defense. You would reduce it to 0, you would activate this effect twice in the graveyard, because it's now once per turn. This is a very old card. This is new challengers. It's not that old, but it is fairly old. So you would activate this twice, FTK, 4,000 damage each. And it got banned because of this in the OCG. And Super Heavy Samurai had a lot of other limitations in the OCG as well, with Motorbike being limited for a while, then released. TCG, the Link 1 is banned because it enables everything. Nothing else is hit. By the way, it just like kills the deck immediately if you ban the Link 1. Exciting ban list from Master, like 10 out of 10. Again, I think this ban list season was just chef's kiss. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this. Remember, please, 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 to go follow on Twitch. The link is in the description below. Please do that now before I go live so you are ready when I do. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.